Raise your hand if you've ever woken up feeling like someone unplugged your brain, hid your coffee, and gave your eyelids a permanent glue job. Go ahead. Don't be shy. We all know that hand is in the air. You'd think in 2025, where we can summon pizza, philosophy, and Peloton instructors from our phones, we'd feel energized, refreshed, and ready to conquer the day. But instead, we feel like we've been dragged through a landfill by a sleep-deprived sloth. The usual advice? Sleep more. Stop looking at your phone before bed. And sure, that helps. But what if I told you the real reason you're tired has way more to do with your brain chemistry than your bedtime habits? In this video, we are breaking down the science behind decision fatigue, adenosine overload, and why your brain is basically running Windows 95 in a TikTok world. And no, it's not just because you drank coffee at 7 p.m. Meet your prefrontal cortex. That little decision-making machine sitting front and center in your noggin. It's basically the Elon Musk of your brain, constantly launching rockets, making calls, and trying to keep everything from falling apart. And get this, modern humans make around 35,000 decisions a day. That's not a typo. 35,000. Do you want oat milk or almond milk? Should I reply with okay or sure? Should I fake being out of toilet paper to avoid talking to my neighbor again? Meanwhile, your ancestors were deciding between eat berry or don't eat berry. Spoiler, sometimes they guessed wrong. Evolution is brutal. The result? Decision fatigue. Your brain gets so bogged down in tiny choices, it starts acting like a browser with 147 tabs open, slow, glitchy, and one click away from crashing. Now let's peek under the hood of your brain chemistry, because apparently, even your neurons have opinions. There's glutamate, the overachiever of neurotransmitters. It helps your brain communicate, but when you make too many decisions, it sticks around like an unwanted party guest and literally gums up the system. Think of it as brain traffic, rush hour in your skull. Then there's adenosine, which is like your brain's sleepy time narrator. It builds up throughout the day, whispering, maybe rest now? But instead of listening, we grab caffeine like it's a life preserver. Caffeine hijacks adenosine's receptors and says, not today. Which works, until it doesn't. Then comes the crash. That mid-afternoon slump where you question every life choice that led you to this moment. Let's talk about why we feel like we're running on outdated software. Your brain? It was built for survival. Not spreadsheets. Not Instagram. Definitely not trying to decide between almond milk or oat milk at 7:45 a.m. when you're already late for work. Back in the day, our ancestors had one job: survive. And that meant making simple life or death decisions. Should I eat this berry or will it kill me? Is that rustling in the bushes a rabbit or a tiger? Should I trust the guy with the weird rock hat? That's it. That's all they did. Fast forward to today, and we're making 35,000 decisions every single day. 35,000. That includes things like, should I reply with okay or sure? Is my kid's recital today or tomorrow? Did I pack my charger or am I going to be stranded in a coffee shop for 8 hours? And guess what? Our brains haven't caught up. We're still using the same neural architecture as our ancestors, but instead of hunting for food, we're hunting for the right emoji. This is called evolutionary mismatch. When your biology is optimized for one environment, but you're forced to live in another. It's like wearing sandals to Antarctica. Sure, they worked fine in the desert, but now you're freezing and questioning all your life choices. So yeah, feeling tired isn't laziness. It's not weakness. It's literally your brain being asked to do too much with ancient tools. Oh, and speaking of sleep, remember blue light? That sneaky glow coming from your phone, laptop, and that smart fridge that judges you for eating nachos at 2 a.m.? It tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, suppressing melatonin, the hormone that tells your body, hey, time to chill. If you want more on blue light, we've got a whole other video diving deep into its nefarious ways. For now, just know, screens before bed equals bad idea. Like pineapple on pizza bad. No offense, Hawaii. Now, here's a fun fact. Not everyone is designed to wake up at 6 a.m. and chirp like a bird that just won the lottery. Some people are early birds. Others are night owls. And then there are those mythical creatures known only as the third shift, who seem to function best between midnight and sunrise. These are called chronotypes, and they're largely genetic. Like eye color, but for sleep schedules. If you're forcing yourself into a 5 a.m. routine when your body thinks it's midnight, congrats. You're not lazy. You're just fighting against millions of years of evolution. Teens especially have it rough. During puberty, their circadian rhythm naturally shifts later. Forcing them awake at dawn is like asking a bear to solve algebra problems. It's not fair, and honestly, it might bite you. The U.S. education system loves its early start times. But studies show that starting school later improves attendance, reduces behavioral issues, and even lowers substance abuse among teens. But hey, if you've got the flexibility to match your schedule with your natural rhythm, you'll be doing your brain a huge favor. Also worth noting, chronotypes can change over time. You might have been a night owl in your 20s, but by 40, you're falling asleep at 8 p.m. like an old dog after a long walk. So don't beat yourself up for not being a morning person. Your brain might just be saying, not today. Sleep isn't just downtime. It's your brain's nightly maintenance crew. While you snooze, your brain is basically cleaning house, sweeping away mental trash like glutamate and adenosine, filing away memories, and giving your nervous system a spa day. But here's the kicker, not all sleep is created equal. You could log 8 hours of sleep, but if you're doom scrolling until 2 a.m., waking up 5 times, or sleeping through an alarm clock that sounds like a nuclear siren, you're not getting the good stuff. Quality matters more than quantity. Here's how real restorative sleep works. Stage 1: light sleep. You're half dreaming, half wondering if you locked the door. Stage 2: slightly deeper but still easy to wake up. Stage 3 and 4: deep sleep, where your body repairs muscles, boosts immunity, and does some heavy-duty brain cleaning. REM sleep, dreamland. Emotional processing, creativity, and memory consolidation happen here. Ideally, you cycle through these stages multiple times per night. But if you're only getting 4 to 5 hours, or if you're waking up groggy every hour, you're missing out on the deep clean your brain desperately needs. So what ruins sleep quality? Blue light from screens. Late night eating. Caffeine too close to bedtime. Stress and anxiety. Snoozing your alarm like it owes you money. Fixing these habits can make a world of difference. And once you start sleeping better, you'll notice it in everything. Mood, focus, energy, and even your ability to resist buying random junk online at 2 a.m. Let's talk about how to actually sleep like a pro. Avoid electronics an hour before bed. Yes, even that, just 5 more minutes scroll. Keep your room dark, cool, and quiet. Think cave, not nightclub. Use melodic alarms, not that screeching thing that sounds like a dying robot. Don't check the clock at night, it's like watching paint dry except worse. Skip the snooze button. It restarts your sleep cycle and makes you groggier. Also, don't try to fall asleep while arguing with strangers on Twitter. Just don't. Caffeine. The fuel of choice for anyone who's ever said, I need to adult today. Caffeine blocks adenosine, that sleepy time chemical we talked about earlier, letting you power through the day like a caffeinated squirrel on a mission. But here's the catch, too much or too late can ruin your sleep. Think of caffeine like a bouncer at a club. It shows up, takes over the door, adenosine receptors, and says, not tonight. But eventually, it has to leave, and when it does, all that adenosine comes flooding back like a crowd waiting outside for hours. That's the afternoon crash, and it hits harder than a notification that says, your Uber Eats order is delayed. Pro tip, try a coffee nap. Drink coffee, take a 15-minute nap, wake up like a caffeinated phoenix rising from the ashes of poor life choices. Also, timing matters. Don't chug your latte first thing in the morning. Cortisol is already high, so you're just adding fuel to the fire. Best window, between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. This gives you the energy boost without messing with your nighttime wind down. And remember, caffeine has a half-life of about 6 hours. So if you drink coffee at 6 p.m., half of it is still in your system at midnight. Which means you're probably not sleeping well. So yes, caffeine is your friend, but like any good frenemy, it's best used wisely. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day sets your body's internal clock and improves sleep quality. Even on weekends, aim to return to your routine quickly. Your body will adapt and start waking you up naturally, no alarm required. For me, that's midnight to 8 a.m. every day. For you? Maybe 11 to 7. Find your rhythm and ride it like a sleepy dolphin. Why does this matter? Because your brain loves predictability. When you create a consistent pattern, your body starts anticipating bedtime like it's a favorite Netflix show. It gets ready, melatonin rises, cortisol drops, and you actually feel tired at the right time. No more lying awake thinking about the time you forgot to respond to an email. No more panic checking the clock wondering if it's socially acceptable to call it a night. And if you do get thrown off schedule, travel, partying, and existential dread, don't panic. Just get back on track as soon as you can. Your body is surprisingly resilient. So commit to a sleep schedule. Even if you mess it up occasionally, just knowing what your ideal rhythm looks like makes a difference. Because when it comes to sleep, consistency beats perfection. Let's talk solutions. More like hacks for this tiredness thing. For example, managing information overload. News, social media, emails, and DMs, it's all a fire hose of stress. Try apps that filter bias, track reliability, and challenge your assumptions. Your brain deserves a break from echo chambers. Also, give yourself permission to log off. Yes, even from that group chat. If you've tried all this and still feel like you're running on fumes, don't despair. Or worse, self-diagnose via WebMD. Fatigue can come from deeper issues like thyroid problems, sleep apnea, or chronic stress. There's no shame in reaching out to a professional. They might actually help you sleep better than any weighted blanket or YouTube ASMR video. So here's the takeaway: you're not broken. You're just operating on outdated firmware in a world that never stops demanding updates. Small changes like consistent sleep, smarter caffeine use, fewer decisions, and cutting back on screen time can make a big difference. Experiment, track how you feel. Find your personal sweet spot. And remember, you don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Start with one tweak, then another. Soon enough, you'll wake up and realize you actually feel awake. Now go forth. Nap wisely. Sleep deeply. And may your adenosine levels forever be in balance.